Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I want to talk about my spiritual dream and testimony. These two people in the back is my mom and my dad. They've been together for 39 years of marriage. My daddy was 74 years old and my mom was 58 years old. Yes, them two is went on to glory. They are deceased. Yes, they are deceased. My daddy went first at the age of 74, March 5th, 2021. Then my mom went March 5th, 2023 at the age of 58 years old. They have two kids, which is me and my sister. I'm the baby and my sister is the oldest. And yes, it's just only us now. But yes, that's my mom and dad. Rest in peace, rest in heaven, rest in power. Mama and daddy. Big Al and TG. Trolling Jefferson, Alfred Jefferson. I miss y'all. So I want to go along with the testimony / spiritual dream. I laid down to go to sleep and a dream came to me. And it was about the world ending, basically, because by us living in the last days, yes, this dream really came to me. And I don't know why, but yes. It's a meaning behind it as well. And I just want you guys to listen and understand the meaning and the whole concept of it. Okay, so one night, me and my sister was at my mom and dad's house. And it was late at night. I don't know why she wanted to walk at night, but it was late at night. And it was like maybe like 1:30 in the morning, and she decided she wanted to go to her job because her job didn't close till like 2:30 in the morning. So we went walking to the job, and be advised, y'all, there's no one on the streets but me and my sister. No dogs, no cats, no birds, no cars, no people, no strange people, no homeless people, just us two. So we went walking to Burger King. And we was at Burger King for probably about 15 or 10 minutes. And then we left out. Be advised, y'all, there are no one on the streets. No one. Just us. We wasn't scared. It's just that, I know I wasn't scared, but I'm just saying it was just us on the streets. So when we left Burger King and when we hit the corner to walk up the street, because it's like 10 blocks from my house. So when we walk up the corner, when we turned the corner, they had a group of people. I don't know why she didn't want to take her car. Be advised, y'all. My sister got driver's license, she got insurance, and she got a car that had gas in it. She just chose that she wanted to walk. I said, okay. So I'm going with the flow. Walking. So we walking, and it was a crowd of people. It was like 200 or 300 people that was in a crowd, and it was a big crowd. So we walking. And next thing you know, we blending in the back of the crowd, y'all. Not the middle, not the front, the back of the crowd. Because I guess it was a sign to see what was really going on, because this crowd was big, like a second line band in New Orleans. Like a second line in New Orleans. That's how big the crowd was. It's just that we so happily blended in at the end of the crowd. And they had people still walking behind us as well. So we walking. And I'm just looking, like we just looking straight ahead. And all the way in the front, you really can't see nothing, but I'm pretty sure they had something came because the crowd was getting smaller and smaller as we was walking. So we walking. They must have had at least about 2 or 3 raptures. But like in the beginning, we couldn't really see because we was in the back, so we really couldn't see. So we walking. Me and my sister was talking, like, normally talk. You know how people talk on the side with each other and we just start talking. So when the rapture came to the middle of the crowd, my sister and we started talking. I was like, sis, you seen that? She was like, yes, sis. She was like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. She said, come on, sis, I'm not playing. I said, I don't know, for real. So she was like, man, I hope I could be in whatever's going on up there. I said, you sure? She said, yeah. I said, okay. So we steady walking. Another one came. When I tell you, in this crowd, they had different types of people in this crowd. They had babies, teenagers, kids, mid-teens, people in their 30s. They had older people, elders, people in wheelchairs. They had all of them out there. So we steady walking. Next thing you know, I seen a bright white light shining down in the big old bunch that was in front of us. So I'm like, my sister said, I'm like, I'm looking like I'm spooked. I know what it is, but I ain't think it was that real, you know. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh Lord. So when I tell you they had people went up in the rapture, when I tell you y'all they had people went up in the rapture, y'all they had babies went up in the rapture. They had teenagers went up in the. I'ma say they probably had about all the babies went up in the rapture. They had probably about in the teens between 13 and 18, they had probably about 5 of them went up in the rapture. And they had more out there than, you know what I'm saying? Then they had a couple of elderlies and a couple of older people went up there. So the mamas in them screaming, the daddies in them screaming, where my kids, where my kids? And when they looked up, it was the rapture. So then the rapture had closed. So we was almost to the house, to my mom in them house. So we steady walking. So me and my sister talking. My sister was like, sis, do you really know what's going on in this world? How we got here in this crowd? I said, to be honest with you, I really don't know. But I'm saying, like, are you right with God? She was like, what you mean? I said, are you right with God? I said, because if you ain't right with God, you're not going to be in this event that's about to happen in like a couple of minutes now. She was like, no, how you get right with God? I said, you got to just live the life. Live the godly life and leave everything that you're doing bad behind. Start praying. Go to church. So, the rapture came again. We advise y'all, we in the back of the rapture. I mean, in the back of the crowd. When I tell you, my sister told me that she want to be up in there. I said, oh, you could do. So we was talking, so we steady walking. When that light shined down on us, on the crowd that we was in, I kid you no lie, yo. My sister asked me, my sister said, sis. So I'm saying, I'm like, yeah. She was like, so where we going? I said, sis. I said, I don't know where we going. I said, but this is the rapture right here. She said, what you mean? I said, you don't see that bright light that's beaming down? I was like, that's the rapture. When I tell you, y'all, my sister said, I want to be in there. I think, and when I tell you, before I could even speak to my sister, the Lord took me up into the rapture. The Lord was taking me up into the rapture. And when I tell you He took me up into that rapture, I was trying to call my husband because my husband had my kids. So by him having my kids, I'm like, oh Lord, He gonna be worried about where I'm at. Like, why I haven't called him or why I didn't come home. And I know I was only supposed to be a few minutes with my sister. By the time I could dial his number, the phone dropped out my hand. I had went into the rapture. I was so worried about my kids. Only thing I could just say, the Lord knows. The Lord sees and knows everything. When I got into the rapture, I couldn't even tell my sister her answer that she asked me because He didn't took me up there. My sister was still walking. My sister didn't know it. When my sister looked to her right side and she didn't see me, my sister started screaming, Lena, where you at? I was already gone. When I got up there, my kids came. My kids was at the house with my husband. He was watching them for me. Why my kids the only people that was in the rapture that I knew was my kids and my nephew. My sister left. Remember, my sister left her son at home. because he's old enough to watch himself. She left him at home. He came to the rapture. He was in the heaven gates. Him, me, my 4 kids. And I asked my kids, I said, is Clarence coming? They was like, some guy down there talking to him. And he said he gonna be right up. When I tell you guys, he came to my husband and he's asking my husband questions. And baby, my husband had a key to go up to the heaven gates. So the only people that was up there was my husband, my kids, and my nephew. And I asked my nephew, I said, where your mama at? I said, I was just with your mama. I said, I thought she was coming with me. He was like, I thought she was with you. Come to find out, I told him, no, she not with me. I said she was going home by my mama's house. Come to find out, my sister did not make it to the rapture. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that it's real. If you ain't out here praying, doing the ministry, believing God, Jesus, you're going to be lost. And it's serious out here. You're going to be lost. And if you don't make it to that rapture, you here, down here, to worship the devil, to worship Satan instead of Jesus. So I advise people to take this serious. Like, we're in the last days and people are not taking it serious. I have another spiritual dream I had. Probably about 2018. I had another spiritual dream. And I was laying down. Once again, this dream came around 3 o'clock in the morning. So I was laying down. And be advised, my grandma still living, my auntie still living, my daddy still living, my mama still living, uncles and, everybody in the family, good and everything. So I had a little spiritual dream. And in my dream, they told me I got trouble in my family. They didn't tell me how I was gonna have the trouble. They never told me what was in the trouble. They never told me who was sick. They never told me who did what. I didn't know nothing. Only thing they just said, you got trouble in your family. You need to get it straight as soon as possible. I hurried up and got up. Yes, I did. I hurried up and got up. The next day, I couldn't even sleep the whole night after I had that dream. My auntie came down to visit from Lafayette, and we was all at my mama's house. And my daddy was at work. And I said, y'all, guess what? I ran when I tell you I ran into my mom and my auntie. My daddy was at work. My grandma, she was back in Lafayette. She didn't want to come to the visit. I said, y'all, guess what? I said, y'all got to sit down. I said, something is going on and nobody's not saying nothing. I guarantee you something is going on. They said, what you mean? I said, y'all think just because I smile a lot, they call me Dimples because I laugh a lot and I smile a lot. I have a good spirit. I don't like to be angry because that don't look right on me. And that's not me because I wasn't raised like that, to be ignorant and angry and, I'm not trying to discriminate nobody, but that's not how I was raised. So they know I play a lot because I laugh a lot, and I don't like to take things serious. But I said, y'all, this is very serious. I said, something going on in this family and somebody ain't talking. I said, but I'm about to let y'all know on some heads up on what message I got in my dream. And I told them, and I said, y'all, somebody said we got trouble in the family. It didn't say who, what, when, where, how. They just said we got trouble in the family. When I tell you my auntie started crying, my mama was like, Lena, you serious? I said, yes. My daddy was at work. My grandma was still in Lafayette. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is that, y'all have to know how to respect your elders, your mom, your dad. If they still living, just give them all the love and all you can give them. So when I had that dream, that was 2018, I'm sorry, not 2018, I'm sorry. And I had that dream. Mark my words. I had that dream in the beginning of 2018, around January, February. We gave my grandma a party around the end of the 18th, because her birthday falls on Thanksgiving Day. Like, I think on Thanksgiving Day or the day after. So we had gave her a party. She was turning 86. November 27th. She was turning 86. And when I tell y'all, the next year, 2019, on Good Friday, she passed away. They didn't say how she passed, but they didn't say, like I said in my dream, they didn't tell me how she passed away. They just said that I have trouble. They didn't even name nobody. They just said I have trouble in my family. She passed away on Good Friday with cancer. Years after that, so she passed away in 2019. So then you got 20. After that, 2021, after I had my baby boy, my daddy passed away. And he passed away with heart failure and a heart attack on his job. He been going to that job since he was 18 years old. He passed away at 74 on the job, in front of the job. Soon as he stepped foot off the little stand that they have on a truck, how you get down and hop back up. Soon as he stepped foot off of that, he hit his head back. And he passed away. Doing the same thing every day. 3 o'clock in the morning, getting up, drinking his coffee, going to work, going to stop at the store before he go to work, going the same route, and everything. Passed away. Yep. After that, my auntie passed away. The same when I told the story, that's when I told her and my mama that they have trouble in our family. She passed away right after my daddy. The next year, she passed away with bacteria infection. It spread it all over her body. When we had the last Hurricane Isaac or something, or Ida or something, we had went out there to Lafayette. Something told us not to go, but something told us to go to Lafayette. Somebody was in danger in Lafayette, but we didn't know who it was. I said, Ma, let's just go. Let's go to Lafayette. I said, even if we can't get on this bridge, we got to pray our way to the bridge to get on it so that we can go meet my auntie. Everything was going good. We knew she been sick, but she been taking her medicines and everything. Come to find out, they gave her antibiotics. They wanted to cut her feet off. She told them that she wasn't letting them do nothing else to her body. So they sent her home with some antibiotics. Be advised, y'all. When them doctors give you the antibiotics, you need to take that immediately. Immediately. Don't wait. So when it was clear for the people to come back to New Orleans, so we had left. And my auntie was like, Lena, I wish I could come with y'all. I said, I wish you could come because you got a house out there. I said, I wish you could come back with us to New Orleans too. I said, because we going to love to, hang out and stuff like that. I asked my mama. I said, Ma, can we bring her to Lafayette? Bring her to New Orleans with us. Even though she's from New Orleans, she just was displaced still from Katrina. So I was like, Ma, can we bring her to New Orleans with us? She said, Lena, who's going to watch her and take care of her? I said, Ma, I could. So she was like, Lena, I would have to see. So when I told my auntie about it, my auntie, she was kind of upset because she really wanted to come to Lafayette with us. New Orleans with us. So be advised. Now the doctor Ben gave her this medicine before this hurricane even came. She said she was taking it, but she wasn't taking it how it was supposed to be taken. What she did was, come to find out, when it was on our way, when we was about to be leaving, we was packing up our stuff. And she said, Lena, I want to come to New Orleans. I said, all right, I'm gonna talk to her. I can't make a promise. So my mom brought my mama to dialysis in Opelousas. She was watching my kids. And I said, Auntie Shanna, I said, you gonna come with us this time? She said, no, Lane, I'm gonna stay home this time. But in her mind thing, she knew that we was leaving that Sunday. So my mama had dialysis that Friday. So she knew we was leaving Sunday. So what she did was, She had the medicine the whole time. She didn't take the medicine until the week that we was leaving. So that means that the bacteria already did spread at the bottom of her body. And so it started spreading. We don't know how fast it was spreading, but it was spreading. She was watching my kids when I brought my mama to dialysis. I drove my mom to dialysis, waited out there. And then I came and picked my mom up. And I said, Ma. And mama said, let's go get something to eat. I said, well, let's go ask. I said, well, let's call Shannon. She said, no, we're not going to call her. We're just going to go to the house and ask her what she wants to eat, or do she want to come with us to go get something to eat. Be advised, y'all. She was in the house watching my kids. My kids didn't know nothing was going on. My kids knew that she was downstairs. They knew she was breathing. They knew all these things. My mama gets home. My mama gets to the home. My mama went up and down. She said, Lena, she ain't answering the phone. I said, Ma, go inside and see what's going on with her. My mama went to the room where she was at. My mama, I'm like, what's taking my mama so long? Come to find out, my mama came running outside. Lena, call the police. I'm like, Mom, call the police for what? Lena, call the police. Your auntie ain't breathing. I said, why she not breathing? I said, throw a pillow, throw some ice, do something on her. Throw some water. She said, Lena, I've been hitting her with the pillows to think she gonna wake up. I've been smacking her with the pillows, smacking her. She not waking up. Come to find out, she only had probably about 10 more seconds. If I would have went up and down and looked at her, and I said, Ma, she gone. Straight up. I said, Ma, she gone. She said, no, Lena. I said, yeah. I said, she was like, call 911. So I called 911. They told me what to do. CPR and all that. I did all that. They said, if it would have came fast enough, she would still be breathing. That bacteria spread throughout her whole body. Because she chose to take the medicine on the day that we was leaving, which is that week. So she started taking it that Tuesday. And she really wanted to come back with us back home, but my mama kept saying no. But come to find out, my mama had to bring her back home in a body bag. My kids didn't even know that their auntie was dead in the house. They was in the house with a dead person and didn't even know it. My mama kept saying, no, Lena, we're not bringing her. I said, why, Ma? Why we can't bring her? When her best friend came and picked her up from the funeral home, Robinson Funeral Home, my mama was screaming. She was like, Shannon, why you left me? I didn't think you wasn't supposed to come home with me like this in no body bag. You supposed to come home with me alive, not dead. That's how she passed away. My auntie planned my mama party and everything. My mama died a year after that, which was last year. She died. Bacteria in the bloodstream. She was on dialysis, plus she had a heart maker. My mama passed away. I think my mama passed away for grieving over my daddy. My mama didn't never want to leave the room because them two was so much in love with each other. So where she did not want to get out the room, she used to just stay in the room. I had to bathe her. When I tell you I was bathing my mama, taking care of her, changing her wounds. I had to treat my mama like a baby. Like I really had to change her, clean her up. My sister wasn't doing it, so I had to do it. My mom was dependent on me, which was a good thing. Now I know how to take care of a person, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna put that in my resume of a caregiver, but I'm just saying, like, that goes to show you that you guys need to take this serious. Like, if you got anyone that's sick, make sure you by their side, take care of them, bathe them, do what needs to be done if you can. I done lost my grandma, my aunt, my daddy, my auntie, and my mama. 4 people that was close to me. And remember, in my dream, it says I had trouble in my family. They said I have trouble of people that was close to me in my family. Those are the people that was close to me in my family. And every time I made a year, somebody passed away on my birthday, like a month after my birthday. Like my daddy passed when I was 31. As soon as I was at 31, I took my last picture with him on my birthday, and March 5th he passed. My grandma passed when I was 28. My auntie passed when I was 29. My daddy passed when I was 31, and my mama passed when I was 33. I mean 32. I'm sorry. Mama passed when I was 32. So yeah, they say cherish your memories with your parents. It's real serious, y'all. And that's what I wanted to tell y'all about my spiritual slash testimony dreams. Like, it is serious out here. Y'all need to believe in God, because God is serious. God is real. He's real. That's why I'm trying to get physical into Christ. But God is real, and is very serious. So I just want y'all to know that, yes, I'm not a person that likes to party. I don't do all those things. I'm a homebody, but I'm in my own way. You know, like I said, I love everybody, but I just want y'all to take this serious. The Mark of the Beast is about to come out. The Dragon has been released. That's already out. So y'all need to be on y'all game. Like, be on top of some things. You know, the world is changing fast than what you think. So I just want to tell y'all my testimony. I'm a shy person, so I don't like to really speak up on things. Like my husband, like, you have to let the world know that, this is serious, that God is real, that God can fix things and God can heal things. So he was forcing me to do this. So yeah, because I don't like to really, tell my testimonies and stuff. But if I got a testimony and then it's my will that I have to say it, then I have to do what I have to do. But I'm just letting you guys know that God is real. And I am young. So I've been having these dreams since I was 10 years old. It's just a matter of time, So I just want you guys to know that God is real. God loves you. He does. He loves you. And y'all just need to stay prayed up, go to church, and pray every day. Good night, you guys. And that's my testimony and spiritual dream. Good night.